Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Deiser Connection. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. Okay, so let's start this episode with some news. And I don't know if you already know, but the event season is already upon us. 2 weeks ago, Technobate by Havano MB from Belgium was held, and from what we heard, it was a really cool event. But in 2 weeks, we have one of the most important events in Europe, in which we'll be attending as a sponsor, we'll be participating as sponsor, which is the Meta-inf Atlassian Day. We will be there, and my colleague Laura will be presenting budgeting for all the attendees. There's going to be other talks. There's going to be a lot of talks about innovation. There's going to be networking. It's going to be a great event, and we cannot wait for that. And we're looking forward to meeting everyone there. So look for that. Also, in other news, and for the ones that still don't know, Atlassian Team 24 is 2 months away. The ultimate teamwork event will be held in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel, Casino, Spa, Convention Center, etc. It's an amazing place. And we're thrilled to be attending once again. And I also wanted to let you know that if you use the code that I will provide beneath this video, you'll get an instant discount at a super fan rate, which is $7.99 US. You just need to enter that code and you will have that discount. If you needed a push in order to attend this amazing event, I think you just got it, So we have some really cool stuff prepared for Meta-inf and Atlassian Team 24, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so moving on to the next section, this episode is going to be all about Jira project boards, okay? We talked about Jira software projects and how they were created in other episodes. We also went through their settings and how they are composed. In this video, we will focus on how Jira enables software teams to manage complex projects through collaborating and thanks to project boards. So, what is a project board? Think of a Jira project as a recipe for your next amazing dinner, okay? In this dinner, you will have a list of the tools you need, the ingredients you need, and the steps you need in order to cook that meal. This would be your Jira issues. So, Jira boards are the kitchen counter. It's a visual workspace where you can manage your tools, your ingredients, and track the entire progress until dinner is ready. So, what type of boards are available in Jira software? Jira software provides 2 different boards with different features. These features make it easy for teams to practice agile methodologies. I hope that you're familiarized with agile. And this will help you track your work with your team. There's the Scrum board, which is great for teams that work in sprints or time frames. Usually takes 2 weeks to complete an amount of work. And in the second place, there's the Kanban board, which is perfect for teams who need to track and manage work as it progresses. And finally, Projectrak also has a board, which is a great addition to collaborate with your team and know exactly how your company is doing, and all of this on a project level. So let's go and check them out. So we have a list of projects here. You can see Projectrak with a list of projects. And we have several fields with information in them that allows us to know what's happening with those projects. We have the status of the project, we have the priority, we have the country in which those projects are being worked on, when those projects were last updated, and the unresolved issues in each of them. We have also the methodology, which is going to be useful right now to see what methodology the team is using in order to work on those projects. So maybe we can move methodology right here in order to have it, one of the first columns right there. So let's see, we have the app for keeping budgets, which is using the Scrum methodology. Remember, we're going to show you 3 different boards: the Scrum board, the Kanban board, and the Projectrak board, that they will be useful, and they are going to show you a lot of information in order to track all your projects. So let's go in the apps for keeping budgets. So we have the Projectrak view, but if we go to the projects board, we can see the timeline, we can see the backlog and the active sprints. Let's check out the Scrum board. Let's see what's in the backlog right now. As we can see, we have several issues already in that project. We have an active sprint, with 3 different tasks. So we also have the backlog right there, in which we can prioritize the issues like so. If we need to solve a bug, that it's in the backlog, we will be able to prioritize those issues before the tasks. And if we need another task to enter the active sprint or the next sprint, we can arrange and prioritize those issues right there. As we have an active sprint right here, we will see these issues in the active sprints in this board. So if we change the board, we will be able to see that the 3 issues are right there. In order for us to prioritize them, we can prioritize in which order we want to work on them. We also have different columns that will represent the status in which they are on right now. So if we start working on one of the tasks, we'll move it to in progress, and if we finish that task, we'll move it to done, and the issue will be closed. And that's pretty much it. It's really easy to understand, and it's really easy to visualize the progress of that sprint when we're working on Scrum methodology. So if we go back to the project list, we will see that there's another we will see the list of projects, and we will see that there's another project that is using another methodology, that is Kanban. So if we go to the app for tracking projects, we'll see that we have other boards. We'll see that we'll have the Kanban board right here. So if we click on the Kanban board, we'll see all the issues that are created in that project. We'll have tasks, we have bugs, and several other issues. And again, in order for your team to collaborate and see and track the progress on that project, we can arrange those cards in different columns. Okay, we can move tasks in the backlog to selected for development, and if we start working on those tasks, we can move them to in progress, the same as the bugs, and the same when we finish working on them, we can move them to done, and the issues will be shown as done. So if we go back to Projectrak, we will see the list of projects, but what I want to show you is the board view for Projectrak. This board view will show the projects grouped by status. Okay, remember that with Projectrak you can track the status of your projects. There's different columns, and you can add as many columns as values are there in the field, in the status field. So we're gonna add the pending one, and we're gonna add the post status. Okay, but right now I want to see the pending status first, then the on track status, then the at risk before the block one, like so. You can arrange the columns as you please. And also, if you need to change the status on a project, is as easy as grabbing and dropping, like the Kanban and the Scrum boards that we have just seen. It's super easy, it's really intuitive, and the projects will be updated accordingly. We can also group by priority. Maybe we want to see the priority that our projects are on. We can add the high priority, we can add the medium priority, and we can add the low. Before, we want to see the low priority in the first place, the medium in that place, and in the high priority. Maybe one of those projects changed priorities, so we're going to change the service companies to a high priority, and it's easy as dragging and dropping. And if we want to group the projects by another field that is a list field, we can do so. For example, we want to see what projects are in which methodology. So if we select methodology, we can add the columns, for example, Scrum and Kanban. We want to see how many projects are in Scrum and how many projects are using the Kanban framework. So for example, if, the project manager needs to change the methodology for Project Apollo, they just need to change the project to that Kanban column. It's as easy as dragging and dropping, as I just mentioned. So that's pretty much it from my side. I really hope that this episode was helpful for you and that you learned something more from the Jira project. So again, hoping to see you in different events. Stay tuned because we have a lot of stuff prepared for those events, and see you next week with more news and more use cases and maybe one or two surprises. So see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.